Have you ever seen those graphic videos posted on social media or in the news about somebody hurting or killing an innocent animal and wondered why there isn't something that was being done about this? Well, today I will present an argument that Idaho legislators need to fully support the PACT Act. In most states, including Idaho, animal cruelty is illegal. Congress passed and President Obama signed the Animal Crush Video Prohibition Act, banning the creation and distribution of videos showing cruelty against animals in 2010, according to Animal Welfare Institute. This law, however, does not cover the underlying acts of animal abuse, which is usually a crime that must be prosecuted by the state. PACT stands for Preventing Animal Cruelty and Torture. Early this year, two bipartisan lawmakers proposed this bill to help close the gap in making animal cruelty a federal offense, according to CNN. If the bill passes, authorities will be able to go after criminals and prosecute them for underlying acts of crushing, burning, drowning, impaling, suffocating, and sexual exploitation. It will also allow prosecutors the ability to pursue charges against those who commit abuses in national parks or on military bases, reserves, or any other federal lands, according to Huffington Post. To prepare this speech, I have done a lot of research through credible resources on animal abuse and the PACT Act, including articles from CNN, the Humane Society, and Huffington Post to help me better understand and strengthen my argument. I argue that Idaho legislators need to fully support the PACT Act in order to protect innocent animals for three reasons. First, animal abuse is unethical and rarely prosecuted as harshly as it should be. Second, without the PACT Act, it is too easy for violators to escape the full extent of the law. Despite a common argument that animals don't deserve rights as humans, and some don't feel like they have a reason to fight against animal abuse, animals offer a lot to society and should be protected. To begin, I will argue that animal abuse is rarely prosecuted as harshly as it should be. The first reason why Idaho legislators should support the PACT Act is animal abuse is unethical and cases of animal abuse are rarely prosecuted as harshly as they should be. Not only is it wrong to hurt a defenseless animal, but also it can cause the animal to behave in an aggressive manner and endanger other people. Studies show that people who abuse animals are 5 times more likely to commit a violent act against another person, according to Animal Legal Defense Fund. Studies show that animal abuse is what's known as predator crime, meaning that if there is abuse to the animals, most likely there's some other abuse in the household. 20 men and women are assaulted per minute, and 71% of domestic violence crimes report their abusers also targeting pets, which also means 14 pets per minute are also being assaulted, according to Humane Society. Late last year, a man in Las Vegas recorded himself punching a dog in the head while making death threats to a woman he was stalking, according to the Las Vegas Review-Journal. He was sentenced to 5 to 13 years in prison after pleading guilty but mentally ill in April to 1 count of aggravated stalking. Judge gave him the maximum sentencing on animal cruelty charge, but said he would have given the guy more if he could. It is a shame that as a society we have come so far, yet it requires legislation to enforce basic humane treatment of animals. Most cases are commonly charged as a misdemeanor offense. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Iowa, and Mississippi are the only states that apply law to federal charges, but only for subsequent offenses. The max sentencing for animal cruelty is currently 10 years of jail time, but only for Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Alabama. Since laws against animal cruelty differ from state to state, prosecuting crimes is a difficult process. Cases on animal abuse have to be dealt with according to state laws, and it is almost impossible to track down where the acts were done. Without the PACT Act, the prosecutors are unable to cross state lines or prosecute a crime that is done on federal property, according to Humane Society. It is important to recognize that animal cruelty can impact our society. As a nation that prides ourselves in fighting for each other's rights, it is only fair that animals receive the same respect. Some people may argue that animals don't think or feel the same way as humans do, and don't feel like they have a reason to fight for animal rights. Well, according to live science and research, dogs are as intelligent as an average 2-year-old. If rights were simply based on a certain level of intelligence, people who have mental disabilities or children wouldn't have rights. Second, domestic animals help a lot of people with disabilities or mental illness cope and deserve our help in return. Service and therapy animals are becoming more popular because they offer benefits to people who struggle dealing with physical and mental issues. In a large German study, researchers found that people who said they owned a pet in both 1996 and 2001 had the fewest amount of visits, according to the National Center for Health Research. Animal cruelty should not be ignored by law-abiding citizens because it can be a sign of a larger issue. While studying families who were under investigation for suspected child abuse, researchers found that pet abuse had occurred in 88% of the families, according to Humane Society. Another study showed that 71% of women who were seeking shelter as safe house had pets, and their partners had threatened to hurt or kill them. Now that we know animals have a lot to offer to our society and deserve our protection, I will review the main points of my arguments. In conclusion, Idaho legislators need to fully support the PACT Act to protect animals for 3 reasons. First, animal abuse is unethical and rarely prosecuted as harshly as it should be. Second, without the PACT Act, it is too easy for violators to accept the full extent of the law. And third, despite a common argument that animals don't deserve the same rights as humans, and some don't feel like they have a reason to fight against animal abuse, animals offer a lot to society and should be protected. In closing, since animals aren't able to speak for themselves, it is up to us to do it for them. After all, it is the least we can do. As a U.S. citizen, it is our responsibility to stand up for each other and do whatever it takes to make this country a place we can be proud to call home.